mean by that? Well, before I get into that, if you're new to the channel, my name is David Martinez, and I talk about all things self-improvement and pretty much what's on my mind. And this video, I want to talk to you about why I think a lot of men don't take action. I was on a call recently with a mentor of mine as well as a couple friends, and the topic came up of why is it that a lot of men don't have drive? And my answer that I came up with was the fact that a lot of people don't know what it's like to really lose, right? They don't know what it's like to be forced to go back to the drawing board because they realize what they're doing is just not working. I can tell you from my personal experience that it took that in my life in order to get to where I'm at today, where now I'm in front of people who start six-figure businesses and have made them profitable. I'm in front of people who trade and make six figures. And I'm also in front of people who make six figures having coaching businesses when it comes to fitness. All these things that I'm so interested in. And yet they are very profitable in doing those things. And I'll say that for myself, I don't know that I would have gotten to this point had it not been the crazy events that have happened last year. I don't know that I've gone too much in detail about that, but I'll try to sum it up now. Maybe in a future video, I'll get into more in depth as to what happened and the specific things that I learned from those experiences. But essentially, I was ran out of the city that had raised me for 8 years of my life. I had to say goodbye to a lot of people, friends, close friends, neighbors, things like that. I had to take a giant pay cut. Didn't feel good. And I also had ended a relationship at the time with someone who I thought that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. And all of that just came crashing down last year. And it was very humiliating for me because for a long time I was putting this facade of I was figuring things out and I had stuff more or less figured out, when in reality I was just living off borrowed time, and there would come a point when all of this would come crashing down because it's just a house of cards. I didn't really know what I was doing, and yeah, I crashed out, and here I am a year later in this position that I'm in, where I'm now making YouTube videos, talking to you, and I've placed myself in front of people that really have dominated parts of the world and have almost established kingdoms, if you could even believe that, of their own when it comes to businesses and things like that. Obviously, they don't run countries and they're not in positions of power and things like that, but I think you know what I'm getting at. And being humiliated, having gone to the bottom of the pit, was what it took for me to just say, enough is enough. I don't want to live like this anymore. And I want to make it to where I will never, ever near this place ever again. And to do that, I have to soar to unprecedented airspace, right? Which means I have to start running and flying with those people that have what I want, right? Have the income streams that I want to have for myself, have the relationship goals that they have the physical fitness goals that they have, right? And even the mindset's pretty important. And all of that just goes into something I've said in an earlier video, right? Your inner circle will define you. These guys, that's pretty much all I talk to on the daily, When I think of my friends from the previous era, I still talk to them as well, right? I'm not a ghost, I'm not a stranger. But when it comes to what I need to get done in order to assume the person that I want to be, I happen to pour a lot of time and energy into those people that also want those things for their lives. And it encourages me, and I hope that it encourages them. And so I would say to you, if you are at that point where maybe you are at rock bottom and you want to be sure that you're never going to be here ever again, and you will, change by God's grace, then I'd say reach out to people that you see have those characteristics and try to bond with them and try to make it to where you can spend a lot of time with them and learn from them. That's essentially what I've done the past year, and it's paid dividends, and it will continue to do so. So I hope that was helpful, and I will catch you in the next one.